This is something different. I've never really just released a video where I literally just talk to or in front of, I've talked, well, yeah, it's talking to the camera, not talking in front of the camera though. And I feel like, well, number one, it's a good way to get content out. And number two, I have a lot of thoughts and it helps to process them when I enunciate them. Ignore the barking dogs, because that's like every house in this neighborhood has a dog, including ours. We have a dog and two cats. They're wonderful. But a lot of the time, I start to make a video, and somewhere along the way, it just gets dropped. Not because it's impossible or anything, not because I can't do it, but it's because it's really hard for me to find initiative to make videos. I'm not sure why that is. Because for school projects, I really like to make videos. There have been one video that I released on my channel was a school project. That was the Nathaniel Hawthorne video, and I really enjoyed making that video. It was, I mean, I'm happy with the product. I think it could have been better, but it's not a bad video. I stayed up all night making it. I think that's the only reason it came out good, and that completely screwed over my health, and I basically slept through the next day and a half. Things like that. Oh, some guy just came out of his house. Just there are things like that that happen all the time. It's like when I'm forced to make a video, I make it, and most of the time, I'm happy with it. I think the videos turn out good. And there was one other video about the concept of information. It was another thing for the same class, which is American Lit, you might have guessed. And it was about Fahrenheit 451, where books are banned, basically, and they go after you if you have one. And so they're stifling information and what happened previously. And that I thought that was something that's pretty prevalent, so I made a video about that. And it was my first video with Premiere, and I really, really, really wanted to make it good. So I'd been binge watching Captain Disillusion, who is like the editing god of YouTube. I made that. It's about 3 minutes long, and the editing is incredibly messy. There's a thing right next to the microphone. I'm trying to swipe it away without hitting the microphone. The editing is very wishy-washy because some shots have insane amounts of effects on them, and I just spent an hour trying to get it just right. Still other segments, there's a full minute where it's literally just the same clip on loop. There's segments like that in the video that I don't like them. Nikki's at the window behind me. And that's the reason that I've never released that video. It's unlisted on the channel right now because I released it as a demo for someone who wanted to have me edit for them, and I didn't get the job. But so that's unlisted on my channel, and for a while I used it as an example of what I could edit, but now I don't anymore, because just because there are some flashy shots doesn't make it a good video. I feel like I'm realizing that. So the video that I made last night, I shot it on Wednesday, and I edited it all through Thursday, all the way up to midnight, and then I set it to render through the morning. There aren't a lot of flashy shots. There are 2 shots that I would point at to someone and say, hey, look at this, see how cool this is. But everything else is fine, and I feel like that's what's important. I need to make more fine things, because I keep being too ambitious. I don't know if this is a bad thing to say, but I feel like I'm being too ambitious, and I'm not building up to something big. I'm just going straight for it, instead of you're not gonna try and lift a car. You're gonna lift piece by piece, start with a 5 pound, then go to 10 pound, 20 pound, and you do it incrementally. You don't jump to trying to lift a car. And it's the same approach with pretty much anything, but especially something like video production, where I edited a second video. I might talk about it more in a couple minutes, but I edited a second video tonight called, it was the March update, which was literally an update video I made back in March, and it never came out because it's October now, and it never came out because I just didn't get around to editing it. I didn't find the motivation to edit it, and basically I unboxed a green screen, and while I'm doing it, I'm explaining why. It's because I was on a short film. I was directing a short film, directing, editing, videoing, and pretty much doing everything for the short film minus handling the kid actors and acting myself in it. And it was really, really poor shoot. It's hard to work with kid actors, and that's what I was limited to. But I'm not gonna try and blame it on them. They're kids, and just a bunch of random things coinciding meant that the shoot days were not good. We didn't get as nearly enough done as we wanted to. Like, we tried to shoot 4 pages in an hour. That's pretty much impossible unless it's literally nothing but dialogue. So that happened, and we finally had to scrap the project. And I explain in the green screen video over and over again about how big of a project it is and how cool it's gonna be, and how I even have a little bit of self-awareness, saying that I'm using a software that I just learned. I've made like a rudimentary intro with it, and that's it. And now I'm gonna take this and make like a completely simulated 3D model of a character, and that's CG stuff that even like studios can't get right. Like, just look at a freaking DC movie. And things like that are the reasons that I don't finish these projects. It's because I try and make something way too cool. Hey, at the park over the next couple of weeks, you're gonna have like an hour every 2 weeks to shoot with like 4 kids, and try and make something that would be fun for the family to watch. And so I was like, okay, so I have no budget, no crew other than myself and Joseph, and a couple of kids, and very, very little time. So how about I add a bunch of visual effects that I don't know how to do. I write a script that technically makes no sense, and I make it incredibly long in order to, I don't even know why I made it so long. It was ultimately, I cut it down to 11 pages. 11 pages is still pretty long. That's, the general rule of thumb is 1 page is about 1 minute of screen time. So that would come out to 11 minutes. And an 11-minute short film is, well, I guess a short film can be any length, but for a short film with no budget, you should be like 6 minutes maximum. So there was no way we were going to get it done in the first place. So it's this big hulking project that never got finished for obvious reasons. And I'm looking back on what I was thinking back then, and I wasn't thinking, oh, this is going to be impossible. I was just kind of dreading starting on it, and because of it, I never even really got past like the modeling stage of the visual effects. I got the character I got the modeling part maybe 70% of the way done, and then just dropped it because we started shooting and I didn't come back to it. I never got around to texturing it, adding the fur, because it was like an animal thing, and because of that, the project just didn't get finished. It's because I pushed it too hard, and I kind of feel bad about that. But at the same time, I originally thought we were gonna like show it at some kind of film festival thing, and it was gonna be like, oh, it would be so disappointing to have to say we didn't finish the movie. But then I learned we didn't even have to do that, because apparently the event we thought we'd be showing it at didn't even have a filming thing or like a presentation thing. So that wasn't really a problem that it never got finished. But it's just one like thing that lurks in the back of my head and in the depths of my computer files to remind me there was this big thing you tried once. You invested a lot of your own money into it, and it didn't pay out. I guess for some reason that kind of made me take a step back and be like, I don't know why I tried to do that. Maybe I shouldn't have, and maybe I need to focus on other things. So I did focus on other things. I focused on schoolwork, just having fun with friends. But then eventually I started making simple stuff again. I recorded a couple clips of my cats and directly uploaded those. I recorded a rainstorm about a few days ago, and that turned out really good. Well, not really good, but it turned out all right. And I made a short series of tutorials, each tutorial anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes each. Very simple editing. It was all straight to the point, because just I really hate when a tutorial takes like 3 minutes to get to the point and you're just internally yelling at the presenter. So I specifically made sure that I would get to the point within a minute of the video. And so I made 8 of those. In total, it was 40 minutes of content. And I made that in 8 weeks. So over the span of 2 months, I think it's as much as the first and second season combined. I might be wrong about that. I made that in 8 weeks. And that was an example to me of, hey, you can make cool stuff. Just don't take it too far and it'll turn out well. And now I've got that channel sitting with like 40 subscribers, and I don't know what to do with it, because I was kind of just disappointed with the lack of plugin tutorials, because they're tutorials on how to make plugins. I was disappointed with the lack of plugin tutorials, and I wanted to make some. But now that I've done that, I don't know what to make next. So that channel's kind of sitting there, and I got to come up with something to do with that. And there's another channel. Yeah, Chippy More. Yeah, that's pretty much the dumping grounds, and that's where I put the green screen video up. Well, actually, the green screen video is exporting right now. It says there's 6 hours remaining, because I'm exporting it at 2.1, 2:1 aspect ratio instead of 16:9. And apparently, changing the frame size, if you change the frame size, Media Encoder will just hate you for that and punish you with extremely long encoding times. I'm getting on too many tangents. So it's currently October 19th. I want to start season 4 by December at the latest, because when Claire gets home, she's at college right now, I want to make a follow-up to our gingerbread house building video, which is one of my favorites despite being an absolute behemoth, and I literally spent the majority of Christmas Day editing, or Christmas Eve editing, I guess. And I spent 3 hours uploading it, because not encoding, uploading it, because I was out in the middle of nowhere, and it was 24-minute video as is. Because of that, like, I like that video just because the editing is simplistic, even though there's so much footage, and I probably should have cut down a lot of that. But I want to make a follow-up to that video with Claire again, where we set up a Christmas tree, because she's coming home from Texas, and I think it'd be cool to keep it like an annual thing. So, and I want to release that video on the channel before Christmas. So if season 4 hasn't started by December, it's gonna be, well, I can't make it the season premiere, obviously, but like I can get away with making it the second episode. And so I'm gonna attempt that and hope it goes well. So I need season 4 to start by then. I guess the point I was trying to make in the very beginning, and I'm gonna try and come back around and wrap it up, and the battery's kind of getting low. So I really like how efficient I was when editing, because I made a video in 2 days for class and it turned out great. Why not? And then I made a video tonight. It was only like an hour's worth of recording from back in March, and then tonight it took like hour and a half to edit, because it's, again, really simple editing. And I'm gonna try and edit this really simply as well. And if all goes to plan, this will be out shortly after the green screen video. I don't know why I decided to edit the green screen video. It's a 6-month-old update video that is completely irrelevant, shows off equipment I don't use, explains projects that got canned, and I edited it for some reason. I'd like to think that it's the start of me realizing, just keep the editing simple, because it's the part that I dread the most. I like editing, but I dread it beforehand. It's such a weird thing. So I hope it's a sign that if I continue to edit at least somewhat simply, like, obviously it's not going to be just like raw cuts for the Chippy Industries videos. Those are going to have like better editing in them, but I'm going to focus on getting the cuts in, and then like having the rough cuts done. After the cuts done, I'm like, this is a video I could upload to my channel right now. Then I can go back in and add extra stuff. And if I do that, hopefully I can stay on track and motivated. I really want to find a good medium ground, where I'm making good content and putting it out consistently. light just came on over there. Right now, I put out, like, on average, it's probably about one video every month, 2 months. And that's just because I happened to make those tutorials, and Season 3 was once a week for 21 weeks. Oh, except I broke Season 3, like, halfway through, and then resumed a bit later, because for some reason, I was just like, I don't want to do it now. Oh, wait, no, I got sick. I think I got sick. That was probably why. Oh, it was because I had, like, a project to do. Yeah. Thursday nights were... Yeah, Friday is not a good day to be uploading. I think it might be better now, but I need to make sure to have the videos done and ready to go on, like, Wednesday. So I'm also considering doing it every other week instead of every week, like uploading videos, because uploading once a week, it's what everyone knows. It's, oh, you upload once a week because that's consistent, yet you won't burn yourself out. But the thing is, I have schoolwork. I'm a programmer, and I am burnt out just by making one video a week. So I need to be careful, and I'm going to make one video every 2 weeks. Maybe I'll change the upload rate. Maybe I'll keep a weekly upload rate and just have a stockpile ready to go. But I don't want to force myself, because when I force myself, try to make something too good, or just try and make too much, that's when I crash and burn, and that's when you get a freaking 8-month gap between seasons. Camera's almost out of battery. I hope you've enjoyed this little rant of mine about staying focused and getting work done. Oh, the camera died. I really, really hope Season 4 is awesome. I hope you like it. I hope you've enjoyed this view of my backyard, and I will see you in the future. I don't think I'm going to do my Season 3 outro anymore, because, like, it was a cool thing, but it's gimmicky. And then, I don't care if they like the video. I don't care if people like, because, like, I mean, sure, it's cool to see a number that, like, quantifies how well the video did. Like, man, the camera's out of battery, so you're just looking at... I'll put something up on screen to make it interesting. It's going to be something dumb, I'm sure of it. But, you know, I don't care about the like to dislike ratio. I care about the comments, because that's where I get my information from, and that's where I understand what people liked or didn't like about the video. But just like an arbitrary number doesn't really help me, because far too often I've seen that videos, I'm focusing way too much on the dislikes rather than the likes. So I see something with a 90% like to dislike ratio and think, oh, this wasn't a very good video because that's a really large amount of dislikes. I guess this isn't a good video. But that's 90%. If you didn't see a movie because it was 89%, that'd be ridiculous. I don't know, maybe there's like an extension where I can just remove the like to dislike bar. Overall, I'm going to try to stop paying attention to that on my videos, because I feel like my channel's at the point, every video on my channel either has no dislikes or like an 80% like to dislike ratio, and I don't understand that. Like, I really don't, because is it just like, because of the amount of, I'm in that weird area where there just aren't enough votes to properly calculate a percentage or something like that. But I mean, maybe it is that my videos are only 80% good. I'd say my videos are only 80% good at the most. And I'm going to work on pushing that up. This is going on too long. Season 4 soon, trademark. Goodbye.